This video was brought to you by Zyro, the easiest way to get your brand online. Create your own website today using the link in the description and get a 30% off your purchase. 125 billion. That's how valuable Yahoo was at its peak. That was more than Ford, Chrysler, and General Motors combined. And it all began as a hobby. Yahoo brought us many of the services we take for granted today, including cloud storage and setting up your website. But the name, Yahoo, has disappeared, consumed in the food chain that is the tech world. And how did it get to this? We'll tell you all about it in today's episode of Company Forensics. The origins. Jerry and David's Guide to the World Wide Web isn't a cheap adventure film. It's Yahoo's original name. In early 1994, Stanford grads Jerry Yang and David Filo began compiling the websites they liked into a directory. Their sites separated pages into categories and subcategories. Simple, even primitive now, but back then it was a success. They went with Yahoo. According to some articles, the name stands for yet another hierarchically organized oracle. But both Filo and Yang say they like the definition of Yahoo, someone rude, unsophisticated, uncouth. They even added advertising, which would be their blessing and their curse. With a solid idea, they sought investment and met with Sequoia Capital, who agreed to invest nearly $2 million. With money in their pockets, Filo and Yan hired a management team that included Jeffrey Mallet and Tim Kugel, two principal characters in this video. In 1995, Kugel stepped in as CEO and pushed for an IPO in '96, even with a reported loss of $600,000. But it was the age of internet bonanza. Yahoo showed promise and investors were interested. The IPO was a hit. Initially, the share value was $13, but by the end of the day, it had increased 154%, netting Yahoo an $848 million market cap. At the time, Yahoo's first day gains were the third largest of any IPO on record, a sign of things to come because it was to grow a lot. Growth. Yahoo was no longer only a website directory. It was changing internet culture with catchy TV commercials and a new trendy slogan, "Do you Yahoo?" It also expanded its catalog with personalized content, news, and websites under the My Yahoo service. Plus, kids could navigate the internet in a safe environment with Yahooligans. The big move came in '97 when they launched Yahoo Mail. Based on Rocket Mail, a company they had purchased. Users not only had email access wherever there was internet service, but also personalized web services like classifieds, Yahoo Chat, and a storage 3 megabytes, but hey, it was something. Centralized email and tools plus personalized content all inside one account? Do you see the value of what Yahoo was doing? And it was also global with specific references for individual countries or regions such as Yahoo Brazil and Yahoo Hong Kong, thanks to the ability to personalize content. By '99, Yahoo rode a killer wave of speculation around the dot-com world. The stock, set initially, remember, at $13, reached an impressive pre-split value of $475 at the height of the dot-com bubble. That's January 3rd, 2000. Up to this point, their expansion sounds logical. Some ideas were good, like mailing lists and creating personalized websites, but Yahoo got into everything it could, and it was a lot. Successful moves. Here's a list of firsts Yahoo did either through mergers or in-house. Its Yahoo Briefcase, which launched in '99, provided cloud storage way before Dropbox or Drive did. Long before Spotify and Apple Music, check out that video by the way, Yahoo launched Yahoo Music in 2001. Back then, it allowed a freemium service, 1,000 songs per month for free or ad-free and unlimited skips for $4 per month. Yahoo also had radio when it purchased Broadcast.com for $5.9 billion. A lot, but it showed promise. Broadcast provided channels for specific tastes and topics. Think of the potential. First radio, then video. It could have been YouTube, but all it did was make Mark Cuban a billionaire. At least somebody won. The company was also at the forefront of cultural change with an almost punk rock attitude. Former employee Tom Parker recalls how quickly Yahoo became a poster child for carefree attitude within Silicon Valley. It was casual on a college level. David Filo didn't wear shoes. You could wear shorts and flip-flops to work. It was super entrepreneurial, which is now kind of cliche. But if you look at where we are now, we don't associate any of these technological breakthroughs with Yahoo, not even the culture, and that's all their fault. The downfall that came in pieces. some external elements aided Yahoo's fall, the biggest of which is, of course, the dot-com crash. After the bubble burst, Yahoo's stock went from $475 pre-split to just $8.11 in 9 months. But a lot of its flaws were internal, especially in the leadership department. Remember Tim Kugel? Yes, he turned Yahoo into a profitable company, but he also made some critical mistakes. Back in 2000, AOL and Time Warner joined forces. Check our AOL fall video. Threatening Yahoo's online presence. Rumors said that Yahoo would merge with another big company in the e-commerce world, eBay. The reason is that Yahoo relied heavily on ads for income, and eBay would have allowed the company to branch out into other sources of income. But Kugel rejected the idea, which led to conflict with another veteran, President Jeffrey Mallet. Even with the dot-com crash sequels, eBay still turned in $184 million in revenue, and to this day, still operates. Meanwhile, advertising plummeted and Yahoo's wallet shrunk. Soon after, Kugel stepped down as CEO. You might have heard of Sergey Brin, Larry Page, and a search engine prototype they created in '98 called Google. Well, initially, they tried to license their engine to other companies. Then they met with David Filo and he gave them one tip: to launch the engine by themselves. He even introduced them to Michael Moritz of Sequoia Capital, who would become one of Google's first backers. Let's cut Filo some slack because he couldn't have imagined their success. But that's because in part Filo didn't believe in search engines. In an interview, Y Combinator creator Paul Graham recalls, "I remember telling David Filo in late '98 or early '99 that Yahoo should buy Google because I and most of the other programmers in the company were using it instead of Yahoo for search. He told me this wasn't worth worrying about. Search was only 6% of our traffic and we were growing at 10% a month. It wasn't worth doing better." Because Yahoo relied heavily on ads, it was easier to outsource its searching services. They even signed an agreement with Google in 2000 to do so, but Graham's warning echoed. Google was too important not to take into consideration. By 2002, under CEO Terry Semel, Yahoo saw the potential in search engines. The company even tried to buy Google for $1 billion, but took too long to decide. By the time Semel and the board agreed to buy it, Google's price had gone up $3 billion and Yahoo backed out. Yahoo bought Inktomi to up their searching game, and the final product wasn't bad per se. Compared to Google, it was limited, as it worked through bidding instead of bidding and statistical analysis, as Google did. The rivals efficiently slowly lured away users from Yahoo in the search engine war, a war they would eventually lose. No vision. We wish we could say the search engine war alone killed Yahoo, but no, it was doing too much at the same time. For example, Flickr. It was one of their best, if not the best, photo sharing service at the time. After buying it, the potential was there to create the next big thing in social networking. Yahoo forced Flickr staff to think more about integration than innovation. Experts say that all that mattered was Flickr's database and not creating new services and improving customer care. And Yahoo didn't see the signs. In a Gizmodo interview, a former Yahoo employee stated that, "I spent years at Yahoo trying to signal the alarm that Facebook was going to take over unless we stepped in and used our existing social networks to fight back." By the way, Yahoo tried and failed again due to internal lethargy to purchase Facebook. Yahoo had too much in its hands: music, real estate, cars, jobs, classifieds, attempts at social networking, but nothing stood out. What do I mean? Well, Spotify is for music, Google is for search, YouTube is for video, and Yahoo? A kingdom without leaders. Yahoo's failure to find an identity came from the top. Leadership at Yahoo was always lacking. Here are some examples. Under CEO Jerry Yang in 2008, Yahoo famously rejected Microsoft's offer to buy them for $45 billion because Yang felt it undervalued the company and still believed in the success of ads alone. This decision cost him his job. Between 2011 and 2012, 4 CEOs tried to fix Yahoo before Marissa Mayer, its last CEO, got the job. She showed promise as the stock doubled in less than a year, but there was little else to celebrate. She also made the controversial Tumblr purchase for $1.1 billion, only to have it float along with no innovation nor control over the content. No one understood why they had bought Tumblr in the first place. Then there's the Alibaba IPO. Back in 2005, Yahoo invested $1 billion in the Chinese giant. During Mayer's tenure in 2014, Yahoo sold millions of shares back to Alibaba just before the IPO, but the offering was so successful that it meant Yahoo practically had left $36 billion on the table. A weak stock, wrong decisions, mediocre products, and a lack of identity. The king was slowly dying. And Verizon brought the axe to finish the job. In 2016, the telecom giant announced it would buy Yahoo's core business for $5 billion. Pocket change compared to what it was once worth. Ironically, Yahoo ended up in the same dustbin as AOL, another former giant. Two former kings now were pawns for another company. But it wouldn't end there because their names were quickly erased. On the Verizon's branch, Oath, which struggles to stand out. Now, just like them, if you want to start your own internet empire, you need to start with a website, and there's no better place to do that than Zyro. If you run a startup, getting your website in front of people fast is absolutely key. And with Zyro's extremely simple drag and drop editing and intuitive grid layout, everything will look amazing and it won't take you weeks. In fact, it will take you a few hours. Zyro, which only launched last year, I actually wish it had existed when we started Slidebean, is already killing it with a simple UI, fantastic templates, and an e-commerce integration. It literally took us less than an hour to put this site together and start selling our merch. And best of all, you can't beat their pricing. It starts at just $1.30 per month. The guys from Zyro have partnered with us to offer an additional 30% off if you sign up from zyro.com/special/Slidebean. You can grab it by hitting the link in the description below. Let us know what kind of website you plan on building with Zyro in the comments. Maybe it's another Yahoo. Hopefully not. See you next week.